Previously on RV-licious.
The camping owner is the neighbor of a man who built a castle by himself, which we thought is very interesting for the channel. Are we getting a tour of the castle?
No.
I can't give you a tour. I already gave a tour this morning. But I can't give 2 tours in one day. If I just have to give castle tours all day, I can't do anything else anymore now, can I?
This is their edge. If the castle wasn't here, probably not as many people would come.
If the owner, because they're a couple, if the owner already gave a tour, why can't his wife give the other tour? And then he said, well, maybe if other people come, if another camper arrives, maybe then I'll do a tour again. Buddy. We're at Blesdijk still. And look who's standing on the left side. Or your right side. Another camper. And there's another camper behind Petra.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's over there. It's a Volkswagen.
2 other camperers. When we arrived here, we were the first one. There was nobody there. And usually, if you check in a campground, at this camper spot, there is an unwritten rule that you can only check in after 12 or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's why Petra and I were here around 2 o'clock. Because earlier is often not allowed. They don't have a website. They could use one. I'm a web designer. But they don't have a website. But that's the common rule, that you don't come in the morning, you come around noonish. So we were here around noonish, and if you're not allowed to come in the morning, and his excuse for not giving us a tour of the castle was he already gave a tour in the morning, in a time that you aren't even allowed to be there. But that tour in the morning was meant for the people who arrived the day earlier, and he didn't give them a tour in the evening like he usually does. So he gave one in the morning. Well, now it's morning. Where's our tour? He promised us if more camper buddies arrive. There is one. And Petra, show you just the other one. That's 2 more camper buddies. So where's our tour in the morning of the castle? Where's our castle tour? More people arrived last afternoon. Where was our evening tour? Say, hey, more people arrived. Now there's enough people to give a tour to. Or if you want, I give you one in the morning before you leave. No. And if we go, I bet, I bet everything on it that those people
We'll get the tour.
will get the tour. Hi buddies. Well, the NKC review thing works like a charm. Because today we got a mail from the owner, because we gave him a 1 out of 10. And he was like, well, I hope you understand, I already gave a tour that day when you arrived, and it was on a Saturday that we were there. We were the first people to arrive on that day. There was nobody there. We arrived between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. The owner said to us, I already gave a tour early in the morning. That was his excuse. I'm not gonna give another tour on Saturday. And then he said, if other people show up, I will give a tour. If other people show up, let me repeat that. If other people show up, I will give a tour. Then other people showed up, and we showed you the proof of that. On the left of and on the other side of the field, a big ass camper, and on the other side of the field, a mini camper. The people who arrived after us, they also wrote a review today. Let's read it. Beautiful place. We were here on Saturday, 19 November. That's the day that we arrived there first. We were here Saturday, 19 November, and we got a tour of the castle.
Tour of the castle.
And this proves the fact, because as you could see, their camper
Motorhome.
their motorhome looks expensive compared to Penelope. So people who arrived after us on the same day got a tour of the castle. On the same day. And then on the 20th they wrote the review, just like we wrote the review on the 20th. We were here on Saturday 19 November and got a tour of the castle. Why didn't we get a tour of the castle?
I don't know.
What's up with that? So we come first and we don't get a tour, and then people after us arrive, they do get a tour on Saturday evening.
Yes,
Probably on Saturday evening or on Sunday morning.
I did
But
hear,
if he was giving the tour on Sunday morning,
I did hear voices Saturday night, but I didn't go check. But we
Yeah.
did hear voices. Yes.
so how hypocritical is that? And this proves what is up with that, buddies.
Oh yes.
Here's the proof. Our review is the one. Anton, is the owner, refused to give us his tour of the castle. That's what I wrote. That's why we gave a 1 out of 10. And then the people who were there the Saturday the 19th, just like us, and we were first, we got a tour of the castle.
Yes.
And the fun thing is that he mailed us this morning from Anton, and he wrote, "You arrived Saturday afternoon and I just gave the tour Saturday morning. I hope to meet you again someday, and maybe," he says, "maybe, if all things go well, we can still do the tour of the castle, maybe."
Yes.
And the same day that we were there, he gave a tour to the other people in the camper.
Yes.
That's even worse.
That's even worse.
That's even worse to know that these people paid the same as we paid,
Mhm.
and just because they have a fancy camper, they get a tour of the castle. Petra heard voices that evening,
Mhm. Yes.
so maybe they get the evening tour, the Saturday evening tour. I mean, yeah, that's pretty. We told you guys it was pretty gloomish, so.
Pretty cool.
Or he gave them the tour in the morning,
Yes.
which is equally worse because we were also there in the morning.
Mhm. Yes, we got up real early.
Yeah, we got up real early
Yep.
for our doing, just for the case that he would say, "Hey guys, you want you only want to give a tour? You still want the tour?"
Mhm.
No,
He told us.
he could have knocked on our camper van the evening before, saying, "Hey, more people arrived, as you know. I'm doing another tour. You want to come?"
He didn't.
And it shows you how important it is to have proof of these things, because that's why I filmed the arrival of the other camper van, and I filmed the arrival of the mini camper. I don't know which one of those two got the tour. Maybe it was the mini camper, maybe it was the expensive camper, but I think we all can guess
Which one?
which one. So on that Saturday, that same Saturday, the 19th of November, that he told us, "I'm not going to give a tour," he gave a tour to the other couple arriving after us,
Probably.
a private tour.
Yep.
When he promised us, if more people arrived, and they did, you all get a tour, he just gave them the tour. That's really hurtful. He wrote a mail, he doesn't even say, "Next time you will get the tour." He says, "Maybe."
Maybe.
But on the day itself, those people for sure got the tour. It's even worse that he still gave the tour. So that's deliberately leaving us out of it.
Mhm.
If he gave those people the tour on the Saturday 19 November, as they wrote that they were there and they got a tour, either in the evening, in the afternoon, the evening, or the next morning, all that time we were still there. And I told him, the first thing I told him was,
We're here for the castle.
we're here for the castle. And he said, well, too bad, I'm not gonna give a tour today. And then he gave a tour, after all, without us.
Yes, people can be strange like that.
We were the first to arrive. We expressed interest in the castle as soon as we came up.
Yes.
How can you not give us a tour, but the other people after us, you gave the tour? So you told us, I'm not going to give another tour today. Then you did. You told us if more people arrive, I'll give a tour. More people arrived, you gave a tour, but you didn't include us in it. And normally we don't make videos about the same subject twice. But in this case, I mean, this is the follow-up of the castle. He did give a tour of the castle the day we were there. And the people in the review, they have no reason to lie, so they wrote, we got a tour of the castle by Anton.
Yep.
It was amazing, we're gonna give it 10 out of 10. So, and that's just to put, some people think, well, maybe he had a bad day, maybe he had already given a tour, but he gave a tour to the people who were there in a more fancy camper. He gave them a tour the same day that he told us, I'm not gonna give a tour unless more people show up. More people showed up, he gave a tour, but not to us. Where was Anton? Knocking at our door saying, hey, more people are there, wanna come for the tour? The reason you came here?
Yep. He didn't. What's up with that, Anton?
So you can't say, well, he was tired, he didn't have a great day, because he did give a tour to people who showed up in a more expensive camper. The previous owner of Penelope also wrote us in the comments that they also experienced sometimes this kind of treatment, that people treat you differently because of the van you drive in. And I mean, it's just a van, people, it's just a shell, an outside. It doesn't tell you anything about the people in the camper. The reason he didn't give us a tour was because he thought he would get away with it.
You cannot judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, and because he did give another tour of the castle that day, or the next morning, it shows you that he willingly cut us out of the castle tour.
Yep.
Because he thought he could get away with it. But we're making now 2 videos about the subject to show that you cannot get away with this. A little long update.
About the castle incident.
The castle incident, yeah. It's comparable with the party boat incident. If you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. But it's a worthy contender, like which campsite was worse. The castle one or the party boat one?
Yes.
I haven't decided yet.